Okay, looks... I don't know when the actual moment happens when it starts. I'm sure it's on. Okay. I'm gonna try... Oh, I should probably get that off of there. Sorry, I've never done this before. Okay. So, okay. Figured I would try live streaming some game development. Let me just make a Twitter announcement. Okay. Alright, so... Okay, cool. So we do have someone watching, so I guess I'll get started. I did a live stream yesterday saying that we're making a trailer for Super Retro Squad, but going forward it's going to be called Super Retro Crossover because it's not really focused on the squad anymore. Sorry, I was looking in the wrong place because yesterday my camera was over there, but today it's here. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to start working because I have a lot of work to do, and I'll try to look down. Let me know if you have any feedback on the stream. Like I said, I've never done this before, so if you have any recommendations for improvements, let me know, and we'll see if I can get work done when I'm being watched. Okay, let's see here. In the game, I'm not going to explain like what the game is because we're going to be making a trailer that's going to explain more. Sorry, I keep looking at the wrong place. It's going to explain like more of like what it actually is, but for right now it's going to look a lot like Super Mario Crossover, because kind of one of the first tasks is recreating that, but again, it's not just a remake of Super Mario Crossover. That's just one part of it, and I'm using Unity. And normally I work with multiple monitors, so I might be moving my layout. And some of this artwork is, done. Some of it's not. My artist is working on replacing stuff as we speak. I just put in spread yesterday. I just put in the machine. Oh, actually, I realized I have something in here that I don't want people to see. Wonder what I should do. Oh well, whatever. If you see it, you see it. Okay. But just everything in here isn't going to be in the game. Okay. Remember, you're just looking at me work. Okay, so if you see something, because there is something I accidentally left in that I didn't want people to see. If you see it, don't assume that it's going to be in the game. Okay, I do experimental stuff, and again, I'm not. This is new for me. I'm experimenting with live streaming, so usually I'm secretive. But oh well. Okay, I have to fix that camera. Alright, I'm going to try to focus on working. Hopefully the computer isn't too loud. It's kind of freaking out right now. Alright. just gonna pretend you're not watching. Need to work on morph ball. Alright, I'm gonna focus now. But do let me know if like video or audio is like not good or something. I have a lot of components. When you're working in Unity, it's really good to try to separate as much stuff as you can into separate components. Then I have a cool system for enabling and disabling them that gives me a lot of control. Okay. I guess it's probably not fun to just sit here and watch me think, but that's kind of, it's kind of how it is. You know, I know what the next thing I'm gonna do. I want to do Samus's morph ball. So I just have to think about the best way to do it. You know, you want to do it in a way that's like elegant and reusable. So I'm gonna grab my notebook. Sometimes, since this is a new experience for me, I'm not like thinking straight. So when that happens, I write notes in a notebook to kind of gather my thoughts and figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to go into my state machine. Because the morph ball is going to be a completely different state. Let's see, do I already have the animation for that? Looks like I do. I'm going to drag that up here. Create a transition. Okay. Now I'm going to figure out what I want to use to signify when I'm in the morph ball. Probably, so I already have a float. A float is like a number with a decimal. I already have that for crouch state, and you can't crouch and be in the morph ball at the same time. So I'm going to use that. Now I'm going to make an enum to remind myself of what these numbers stand for. So let's say this is Zara's class, or C# file. Zara is our name for our Samus character. So we'll say alt, crouch, and morph ball. Just doing this so that I don't get confused later. I'm not much of a commenter. I don't really comment much when I write code. I just try to write code that when I look at it, I know what it is. I only write comments if like something is confusing, or if I think when I look at it later I won't know what I'm looking at. Okay, so there's a lot of stupid things about Unity, but it also does a lot of really good stuff. So I always just try to work around like the weird stuff. So since I'm not gonna be able to explain everything I'm doing, but Unity has this animation thing called mechanim, and someone tweeted at me, I think. Oh, they liked this video. Okay. Unity has this thing called mechanim, which is used to like kind of set up your animations, and you can actually blend them together, but the only way to blend them is to use a float. So I use floats a lot, even when it doesn't really make sense. Normally a state would be an integer, but I have to use a float just so I can use it for blending. Okay, so crouch state is greater than 1.5. It's going to mean that we're in the morph ball. Then it's going to show the morph ball animation. This is sort of my own system I came up with. Then I have to set it for less than 1.5 when you're going into these other these are called sub-state machines. I have one for when you're on the ground and one for when you're in the air. Okay. I'm guessing people are in school right now. I don't know if it makes much sense to do this now, but now is when I'm working, and this is sort of an experiment. We'll see what kind of feedback we get. Okay. What am I doing? So I have the state machine set up. Pretty sure that's correct. So now I'm gonna have to decide how I want to implement that through code. Trying to decide if I should do a separate component to keep stuff separated, or if I should just put it in Zara's class. I mean, there isn't really that much to it, but I do use a separate component for crouching. Let me see what I have in the crouch class. I'm just going to put it in a separate class for now, just because I don't really feel like thinking about it. Creating the class. We'll call it morph ball controller. But I mean, this is probably something that normally you don't want to make stuff like that specific, but whatever. The important thing is to just keep working. You don't really want to get stuck. think I'm gonna try not using a separate class because I'm actually thinking there's barely gonna be anything in it. Okay. Okay, so she already, let's see. You can either enter the morph ball just by pressing down in the air. Sometimes I actually play Super Mario crossover just because to remember how I did stuff. Hey, it's my cousin. I don't like the Blaster Master skin. Change it. Okay, so morph ball, let's see, yeah. So when you're in the area, hit down, it activates. You can exit it by pressing jump or by pressing up. You can lay bombs only when you're in morph ball. So you press down once for crouch. We're just gonna keep it real. Okay. So I'll just close that. So like I said, the important thing when you're working, you want to keep moving. That's also a good. I keep looking all over the place. The camera's there. It's also just a good philosophy for life. Don't get stuck. Just keep moving. So start really simple. I know when. How about for right now? We'll just say when you press down. Okay. How do I have this set up? I think I have a movement axis. Anyway, I'm just going to do, you press down, you go on the morph ball, you press up, you exit. Okay. So, sorry, just still trying to get used to working with people watching. Movement axis. Now I have access to the, I can't, the stream isn't active, so hopefully you can see that. This thing, movement. It's actually it's not one axis, it's actually a dual axis. Wait a second. Yeah, I just realized that name doesn't make any sense because it's actually a dual axis. So I don't want to confuse myself, so when you press down, what the hell am I doing? Negative. Negative, these are all events that I made. When you press, when the Y, so there's two axes, x-axis and the y-axis. The y-axis is the vertical one, so we're going to say when the y-axis became negative, that means when you're pressing down, whatever, enter morph ball. I actually want to have two methods for that. Yeah, whatever. We'll have an enter morph ball, exit morph ball. Keep it simple. If we figure out how to simplify it later, then I'll do it. So we're going to say when the negative axis begins, you enter the morph ball. When the axis ends, you exit. And we created methods because there's going to be more than one way to enter and more than one way to exit. So we're going to need to be calling these from multiple places. I don't really need to do that. Okay. Actually, I did this wrong. This is actually, when the negative ends, it means you let go of down. I actually meant for that to be became positive. So when you press up, you'll exit. Okay, so we need to have an animator parameter. This is why I should just have a separate. I gotta be honest, I'm not doing this in the best way right now, but whatever, we're doing it. So we're using these things called animator parameters. There's more people commenting now. Let's just see what people are saying real quick. Someone says, so is the idea of the game basically Mario crossover without copyright infringement? No. Yes and no. It'll start out that way, but it'll be a lot bigger than that later. But we're making it very gradually, so we're starting with something very similar to Super Mario Crossover, and we'll keep building on it. And yes, it's called the D-pad on the controller. That's correct. Namcore X caught my mistake before I did. He or she said, wouldn't that make it so as soon as you let go of down, you stop balling? And yeah, that's correct. Somebody said, this is interesting stuff, quit apologizing. I'll try. I will do. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I keep apologizing. I'm so sorry. Just kidding. I'll try to stop. I'm glad you guys find it interesting. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I'll just keep it simple. Okay, so we need a animator parameter. What the fuck is it called? Parameter. Okay. Unity, like I said, Unity's kind of dumb sometimes, and they don't actually have a class for animator parameters, so I made my own, which you can like edit. I don't mean you can edit, but it allows me to change it in real time, and just with an API that's easier than Unity. So actually I have a better idea. Okay, so Samus, we'll call her Zara because she's gonna be Zara. She can already crouch. Okay, so the crouch component is already using the parameter that I'm going to be using for the morph ball. So I'm going to expose this parameter so that I can access it from the Zara class. This is a different class that controls the crouch ability. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. Okay, so this is the parameter that I need. Whatever, I'll just make it public. But I don't want to actually be able to write to it outside of this class, so I'm gonna make it so that I can get it, but I can't write over it. Okay, so I'm accessing the crouch component. Now I'm gonna grab the parameter and I'm gonna set that to remember I made this crouch state thing to help myself. Crouch state.morph ball. And that has to be a float. You have to you can't have any enum be a float. I sort of explained this earlier. It's, you know, just working around Unity. Just realized there's a bit of a actually you never go from morph ball to crouch directly, so when you exit the morph ball we'll just say crouch state dot default, so she just won't be crouching or in the morph ball. Now let's test it. Takes a little while. Oops. Where is she? I don't want you. What the hell? I have a debug settings thing. I just changed it so that I start directly as Zara. There was an error and I don't feel like figuring out what caused it unless it's related to Zara, which it doesn't appear to be. Look at that. Okay, so it worked. We entered the morph ball. It's not animating. That's sort of funny. I wonder if it's, let's see. I'll pause the game. Yeah, it's my computer is dying. Okay, so now let's see what's going on here. I don't know why that's not working. No, I exited play mode. I'm going to drag Zara into the scene. Okay, it appears to be playing there. Okay. Oh, you know what? Wait. I must have made a mistake with my state machine. So, it kept, basically every frame it was starting the animation over. Unity has this setting in their state machines that says can transition to self, and with the morph ball we don't want to be able to transition to itself, because once you're in the morph ball you can't enter it again. You know, you're already in it. So let's try again. Press down, try not to cry. That's funny. Let me answer this question real quick. Could you program in assigning a dedicated button to functions like morph and crouch instead of relying on down or up? Yeah, I mean you can connect them to anything. Okay, so the morph ball is working. Kind of weird that I'm exiting it just when I move to the right or left. Let's take a look at the state machine, see if we can see what the hell's happening. Okay. I'm used to using like 2 monitors. I don't really have much room to see what I'm doing. I need the game view. Okay. Okay. Somehow the oh fuck. So what's happening is maybe it wasn't a good idea to use the same parameter to control crouching as the morph ball, because now when I exit the crouch, it's actually exiting the morph ball also. So that wasn't a good idea. So I'm going to create a, yeah, I think it's fine if I make it a bool. Say is morph ball, whatever. Is morph ball, let's say. So then I have to change these. When I was using the crouch state before, I have to go back and change those to is morph ball. Again, when you make a mistake, don't get stressed out. You just keep going. Okay, so we'll go back to Zara. We're gonna say we're gonna make a string, which is text, and call it morph ball parameter name. I guess I'll enter that real quick. Copy this. I have to wait. Someone said they're watching me work instead of doing their work. Probably not a good idea. I guess you can have me in the background. Can you give us a hug? Okay. Sometimes you just gotta wait. Okay. So then I'll say enter in that name for the parameter. Now I'm going to create a parameter called morph ball parameter. Say, actually, I don't remember if I can. I'll try it. See if this works. So we'll say morph ball parameter equals animator manager. This is a class that I created to let me access parameters better, just because, like I said, the built-in way sucks. I'll enter in the name. So now I can use this parameter to control. We also don't need this crouch state thing anymore because we're not doing that. We're using a boolean, so I'll just say when you enter the morph ball, just say set on, turning the parameter on, and when you exit, we're turning it off. Okay, save. Another hug? Jeez, you guys ask so much of me. Okay, that's 2 hugs, man. It's a lot to ask. Okay. We're gonna try to run it. We have to wait. There's a lot of waiting. I would like to get a faster computer sometime soon so I don't have to wait so long. Oh crap. It's telling me that the stream output is low. I don't know if that means it's not working. I don't know what that means. Can you guys still hear me? I don't really know what to do about this low output. Says it's still going. Anyway, if you can still hear me, I just did things in the wrong order. Unity has this other method called start, which runs after awake. I just have to grab the parameter and start instead of awake because it wasn't ready to grab it that early. I wonder if just that my computer is like working so hard. I wonder if that's interfering with the stream. Okay. Okay, so it is working now. So when you, I mean, obviously this isn't like the finished version or whatever, but you press down, you go on the ball. You're not supposed to be able to jump while you're in it. So it does look like there's a problem with the stream. I don't really know what I can do to fix it. I don't know if my internet just isn't good enough. Kind of sucks. My computer is freaking out. Maybe it's like not able to keep up. Let's see here. Doesn't seem to be coming back. Oh, now oh, it is working fine? That's weird. On YouTube it says not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. If I refresh the page. It still says it. Oh, whatever. Huh. Well, if anybody knows how to fix that, let me know. I guess I have no choice but to continue as if everything is fine. So it was working, but I don't know. I'm just pressing play again in case people couldn't see it, I guess. I can make it bigger. But yeah, so you press. I'm using a preview version of Unity. This isn't the real version of Unity, and sometimes it just stops rendering. So anyway, it's working. So let's keep going. Okay. So we also want when you press the jump button, you're gonna exit morph ball. What? Okay. I'm not using this variable, so I'm just gonna make it an underscore so that I know I'm not using it. It says the stream health is improving. Oh. Okay, I restarted it and it appears to be working now. So I'm gonna get back. So I just made it so when you press the jump button, you'll also exit the morph ball. And let's see. The animation was a little slow, so I'm gonna speed it up. I use a program called Pixel Edit to do animations and stuff. Just find the morph ball animation. What? And let's play. There it goes. And we'll speed that up a little bit. It's a little. Actually, the morph ball is supposed to move up and down. I mean, this art's going to be replaced, but I'll just do it anyway. What? Am I on the wrong layer? Yes, I am. So I'm going to move this down just a little bit. That's the wrong layer. I'm going to move this down a little. And move this one down. See, now it kind of bounces. That's actually what it looks like in the game. Maybe it's a little slow still. That's good enough for now. Like I said, this art is just temporary anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm living in Wisconsin right now, but I'm originally from New York. Alright, so that looks more Metroid-y. In Metroid, if you're in the morph ball and you press jump, though you don't actually jump. So it's working properly in the air. So we're just gonna make it so that okay, so two things we have to do. When you press crouch, like when you press down the first time, you're supposed to crouch, and when you press it again, you're supposed to go in the morph ball. So let's do both of those things. Okay, so currently we have it say when you press down, enter the morph ball, but we're going to change that. This is called an anonymous method. So now when you press down, we'll say if crouch dot enabled, then enter morph ball. Otherwise, we don't do anything. And then let's see. When you enter the morph ball, let's see. How can I? Okay. I don't think I have a way to just see here for a second. I have a jump manager component, and then I also have individual jump components. And I'm trying to decide if I should disable the manager or just disable the individual jump. And I'm just refreshing my mind of how it's set up. Oh, yeah, the screen is telling you when I press shift because I have this thing turned on called sticky keys, so that when I press a button like shift, I don't have to hold shift and press another key. If I just press another key, it'll act like I was holding shift. So that's just a thing that I use to make typing easier. So I'm just trying to decide what's the best way to disable the jump. That's what I'm thinking about right now. So I guess oh, I think it already if I just disable the jump manager, I think it's gonna not allow me to jump anyway. Let me test that real quick. I'm just gonna test right now if I disable the jump manager, if I'll stop jumping. Here's the jump manager component. I'm just gonna disable it. Now I'm gonna try jumping. I can't jump. Now I'm gonna enable it, and I can jump. So that's the solution I'm looking for. So when we enter the morph ball, we're gonna do the jump manager, and then so I have this kind of complex component management system where I use I can like make multiple requests to disable a component, and I have to use a string key for that. So I'm going to create that. Just call it morph ball disable key. Just call it morph ball. Again, just name stuff so that you know what it means. So I'm going to say we're going to make a request to disable the jump manager when you're in the morph ball. And then we're going to remove our request when you exit the morph ball. So let's try that out. What else was I supposed to do? Oh yeah, you can only... Oh wait. I just realized a mistake I would have made. So if you're on the ground... let's see here. You only want to disable the morph ball if you're crouching. If you're not crouching when you're on the ground. So I control the ground state with a component called ground response controller. So we're going to say if you're not on the ground, or basically you are on the ground and you're crouching, enter the morph ball when you press down. Okay. The hell?